Just in, some Utah schools will keep their mask rules a bit longer. We'll show you where and why.
For us, we think this makes the best sense.
A menacing rebound for meth in Utah.
I'm just one choice away from a relapse. Everybody's one choice away.
See why this destructive drug is surging even as local labs dry up.
Plus, your state lawmakers ready to square off over critical race theory.
We need to be careful before we start to rewrite history.
We'll help you make sense of this sticky subject and where both sides stand. 2 News at 10 starts now. Hi, everybody. We are following 2 major stories tonight, both affecting the children in schools here in Utah. Our Jim Spiewak digging into the contentious topic of critical race theory in schools.
First, though, we do want to begin with breaking news tonight. One Utah school district will be keeping students and its staff masked until the final school bell rings. Jeremy, you spoke to the interim superintendent for Salt Lake City schools. What did he have to say?
Well, Heidi, he says, look, this is what's right for this district, and regardless what other districts here in the state do, he says the district here in Salt Lake City wants to stay the course through the end of the year.
The CDC did come out and say they felt that we should maintain the mask mandate through the end of the year.
We got a few minutes with Salt Lake School's interim superintendent, Larry Madden, tonight, just after the district announced it would not change its policy on masks. But do you feel like your decision tonight is reflective of what the parents in your district want?
I do. Since the governor made that announcement, every email I had gotten was supportive of just maintaining that mask mandate through the end.
Masks have been perhaps the biggest source of contention for districts in Utah in the last few weeks. Parent groups have demanded, and legislators are considering restricting districts from requiring masks.
We're asking people to stay masked up.
Madden says even though vaccines are now approved for everyone over 12, not enough students have been vaccinated to justify changing course for the last few weeks of school.
And it feels like the trade-off of, of a short time of continuing the mask mandate.
Up until last week, masks were required in all schools statewide. After the governor lifted that, districts have kind of been figuring it out in each respective district across the state. Most are just about done with the school year, but here in Salt Lake City, they say they're going to keep them. No district that we know of plans to require masks in the fall. Back to you.
Jeremy, thank you. Speaking of the fall, things may be changing across the state as well. Tonight, lawmakers are one step closer to telling school districts they cannot force kids to wear masks. That's thanks to a new bill that will be on the agenda tomorrow. The Interim Education Committee voted to advance a bill banning school districts from implementing mask mandates next school year. The bill says school districts cannot tell kids to wear a mask without first getting a buy-in from their local health department. But that won't be the only item discussed in tomorrow's start of the special session.
Critical race theory will also be on the special session agenda, even though it's not part of current curriculum. Top Republican lawmakers say critical race theory should not be taught in Utah schools.
Lawmakers in both the House and the Senate announced resolutions this evening against teaching CRT. Both of them will be considered. Tonight, Jim Spiewak looked into why this issue is such a political hot button right now.
Well, Heidi and Mark, this letter right here is from the governor 2 days ago explaining why critical race theory would not be discussed in tomorrow's special session. However, this notice sent out just a little bit earlier today from Republicans explains why it will be discussed. Republican lawmakers say that they are just really responding to constituent concerns, while top Democrats tell me that this really just pleases a Republican base.
We're trying to send a message that where we're at.
24 hours before Wednesday's special legislative session, both the House and Senate proposed a resolution opposing critical race theory be taught.
Is it saying that the legislature will not or does not want to take up this issue now or in the future?
We don't believe that one race ought to be elevated over another race, that everybody ought to be treated equally.
Senate President Stuart Adams says more discussion is necessary to define critical race theory. The resolution is now encouraging the Utah Board of Education to take action.
I think we need to be careful before we start to rewrite history.
The Board of Ed voted today to take up CRT as a study item this summer. And in a statement, they said they hope to have positive outcomes based on equity and support for every student. But today's announcement came as a surprise to some, as just yesterday, Governor Spencer Cox announced CRT would not be part of tomorrow's special session.
Do you think that it could be looked at as like a bit of a snub?
No, we want to be thoughtful, and we want to be methodical. We want to be respectful of everyone. And surely we want to be thoughtful and respectful of the governor. We just believe our constituents are asking us for where we're at and looking for direction, and we think it's important that the legislature respond.
Democrat Representative Brian King believes this was a direct response by some Republican lawmakers after learning they would not get to address CRT during tomorrow's session.
And when the governor didn't put it on the call, they were frustrated. They want to weigh in.
King says Democrats were not consulted, the education community has not weighed in, and feels this resolution was rushed.
I think that what we have to do as elected officials is have the backbone to stand up when something unfounded is presented to us by groups of people and say, that's unfounded. I'm not going to indulge in speculation.
Now, we reached out to the governor for comment on today's update. They said that they're sticking to this letter that they sent out yesterday, which it says in part the governor is on record saying that he doesn't support critical race theory in our curriculum, but goes on to say that Utah is a place that welcomes everyone. We're live outside the Capitol tonight. Jim Spiewak, 2 News.
Thank you, Jim. There does seem to be confusion. KUTV asked on Twitter, do you believe you have a full understanding of what critical race theory teaches? Of the 273 responses tonight, over 67% said no, they don't really understand what CRT is. The truth is that critical race theory has a pretty broad definition, but essentially it recognizes that systemic racism is part of American society and challenges the beliefs that allow it to flourish. Though the Utah legislature is only looking at resolutions, which will be non-binding, 3 states have already outright banned CRT. Those states are Oklahoma, Idaho, and Tennessee. And several other states, including Texas, Arizona, and Louisiana, are currently considering the same legislation.
The Utah GOP held an information-style Facebook Live tonight to talk about what happens next with CRT. Representative Kevin Stratton said the issue of critical race is being handed off now to the State Board of Education for research.
A unique thing when we became a state was the powers vested in the state school board.
Now, the school board will meet on the issue June 16th. After that meeting, the board will then report to the legislature in their interim session, also in June. Now, during tonight's Facebook Live, several board members who've researched the issue shared their thoughts, including Natalie Klein, who called critical race theory educational malpractice.
It's not a curriculum. It is more of an ideology that seeps in through everything. It's like putting on, instead of rose-colored glasses, race-colored glasses, where everything you look at is seen through the eyes of race.
There are 15 school board members. Many, we learned tonight, have already been meeting to discuss critical race theory in recent weeks.
I also just wanted to share with you and ask you respectfully and kindly to please do not apply for any funds for critical race theory that are coming down from the federal government.
Critical race theory also brought up, as you can see there, by a member of the group Utah Parents United during tonight's virtual Canyons School District meeting. KUTV looked into what she said and couldn't find any federal funds intended specifically for critical race theory. However, there is federal funding to support teaching, quote, culturally responsive education, which some argued is part of critical race theory. Key lawmakers plan to discuss the critical race theory issue starting tomorrow morning. KUTV, of course, will be there. Be sure to follow us on air and latest developments online at KUTV.com.
Utah climbing the ranks in education spending. The state has been last in the nation for decades now in per pupil or student spending, but that's no longer. Utah pulled ahead of Idaho with the very latest Census Bureau data. When looking at the amount spent on education per $1,000 in Utah's income, Utah has dropped now to 41st in the nation after being in the top 10 worst since the 90s.
Jamie McGriff here on the Breaking Live desk. Former President Donald Trump's organization now under a criminal investigation instead of a civil one. And this is just coming down from the New York Attorney General's office. It's probing into Donald Trump's financial practices. There are allegations pointing to potential tax, insurance, and bank fraud. A spokesperson for New York Attorney General Lolita James's office says it's also working with the Manhattan DA with this investigation.
Beautiful weather today across the state of Utah, climbing to above normal levels on the temperature department. You can see 82 in Salt Lake City, 83 in Vernal, 72 down in Bryce Canyon and St. George at 92 degrees. And we'll see about the same tomorrow. We're looking at those temperatures to climb all the way up into the 80s by 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. The winds are going to start blowing. They're going to be howling. Very strong winds in our forecast because of this storm in the Pacific Northwest. We'll show you the track of the storm coming up.
Thank you, Sterling. Doctors with Intermountain Healthcare bring attention to the growing mental health problem of Hispanic and Latino communities here in Utah because of the pandemic. As of November of last year, the number of adults reporting mental health disorders like depression and anxiety significantly higher in Utah, Idaho, and Nevada. Officials say it matches up with national studies. Those studies found COVID-related stress is higher among young adults and among racial and ethnic minorities who are disproportionately affected by the pandemic.
The latest on resources for you and where masks are and are not required with all of our COVID updates. We'll have it right here on air and also KUTV.com. All new at 10 tonight, the public weighing in on the Attorney General's report on Cottonwood Heights police following a violent incident last year.
They did a great job in August during that riot.
I also find it very disturbing and unethical that the AG's office would for a minute do a fair investigation on the August 2nd peaceful protest.
Community members expressed mixed reviews to the Cottonwood Heights City Council tonight. Many commended the police department's actions during that August protest. Others, however, felt officers went too far. 1 week ago tonight, the AG's office released its review saying police did not use excessive force, but they also added that the police and city should have been better prepared and some departmental procedures were violated.
Now to a follow-up on a story we brought you last week on 2 News at 10. TSA and Salt Lake Police announcing today they've confiscated 50 guns at Salt Lake International Airport so far this year. They say that's 51% higher than this time last year, 72% higher than this time in 2019. Officials say a first offense could be a fine of up to $10,000. If you or somebody you know is looking for an interesting job, TSA is looking for some new security officers at Salt Lake International. They're offering virtual recruitment events to find those new officers. The full-time and part-time positions also offer a $500 starting bonus and another $500 after a year of employment. That first virtual recruitment event starts on Thursday. You can find more information and details on the webpage Indeed.com.
Problems for Utah, problems for the country.
Federal law enforcement calling the drug the greatest threat to Utah. The Addicted Utah team looking into the epidemic that is not getting enough attention.
A kidnapping caught on camera and a child fending off her attacker. You can watch the conclusion of this dramatic series of events just ahead here on 2 News at 10.
Thursday on 2 News at 10.
Welcome back. The opioid crisis typically grabs all the headlines, but there's another epidemic flying under the radar that experts say needs immediate attention.
The Addicted Utah team uncovered that it's been steadily increasing for years and may be worse now than it's ever been here in Utah.
Yeah, at first I thought it was a super drug. It kept me awake. I was able to study for college. I was able to still be a mom.
But as it does for almost anyone who takes it, meth caught up to Destiny Garcia. This super drug quickly changed her. Destiny stopped eating, stayed up for days, and became paranoid.
It made me feel like Superwoman, but that tends to fade away, and then you're addicted.
Destiny is coming up on 4 years of sobriety, but quitting meth was one of the hardest things she's ever done.
I would remember seeing people and they'd be like, oh, I've been clean 4 or 5 years. And I'd be like, oh, I want to be just like that. But here I am.
Methamphetamine has been a big problem all over the country, but even more so out in the West because of Mexican cartels.
And it is truly more of an issue than we realize.
It's tough to know exactly how much meth is floating around Utah at any given time, but in 2020, the DEA seized over 300 pounds in Utah and 4,000 pounds since 2014.
Never stopped. It's actually gotten worse.
Assistant Special Agent in charge with the Salt Lake DEA District Office, Jay Tinkler, says super labs in Mexico are able to cook enough meth to make up for the decline in local labs, which are down to their lowest point in 15 years. And meth today is 95% pure and more addictive.
Right now, what we've seen the past several years is that methamphetamine still poses the greatest threat to Utah and the United States when it comes to all the different types of drugs out there.
This is a pound of meth the DEA bought in a recent sting operation for about $3,500. In the hands of a dealer, it would be cut up at least twice in order to sell more, making the retail street value of this pound more than $27,000, which would be sold in about a week.
And that's what really is driving this for the cartel. That for them is it's all about money.
Preliminary data from the medical examiner's office shows meth was involved in 22% of overdose deaths in 2016 and has steadily increased to 40% in 2020. Meth was involved in more accidental overdoses than any other single drug last year.
It's a big issue with not a lot of solutions.
That's Dr. Elizabeth Howell, an associate professor of psychiatry at the University of Utah. While there are medications for opioid use problems, she says there's no silver bullet to treat meth use disorder.
It's not for lack of trying, because we've had, through the years, many different medications that have been looked at as potentials for treating methamphetamine, and none of them have really panned out.
Dr. Howell says she's seeing more patients getting treatment for opioid use disorder are also using meth, which makes what little treatment there is even harder to address.
There's such a dramatic effect on the brain, and it's so toxic that it's really difficult for them just to negotiate life in general.
Like so many things, experts fear the pandemic is hiding the real picture. Dr. Howell says meth use was rising before the pandemic and thinks it'll probably get worse when it's over.
Traditionally, in history, every opioid epidemic has been followed by a stimulant epidemic. I don't know why, but that's just the way it's happened, and that's what we expect.
The search has not stopped to find treatments for meth use disorder. An upcoming Addicted Utah report looks into a study being done right now to determine one possible treatment. You can catch that story tomorrow right here on 2 News at 10. And for recovery resources and more, just visit the KUTV Addicted Utah page.
And check it out, dangerous flooding in southeastern Texas and southwestern Louisiana. The rain is not done with them yet. Some areas have received more than a foot of rain. First responders are rescuing people from their cars, homes in the rising waters. Thousands are without power and a state of emergency has been declared. In the south, they can get as much rain as we do an entire year in just a day there.
I was just looking at Sterling's national radar, and it looks like a Picasso painting over there, Sterling.
Yeah, we're looking at all these storms that are down around the Houston area. These are moving toward the east, and it's going to move into Louisiana overnight. We're expecting anywhere from 3 to 6 additional inches of rain in this area in the next 24 hours. So a big problem will continue to become a bigger problem. We're not dealing with rain here in Utah. We are dealing with a lot of sunshine. So let's talk about what we're expecting. We are expecting that UV index to get up to around 8 tomorrow. So make sure you got the sunblock for the next couple of days. We're going to see plenty of sunshine. Then the clouds are going to be moving in and we'll see some showers. So let's get to the forecast and tell you all about when that's going to happen, because enjoy the sunshine tomorrow, and then we've got the wind kicking in. The wind is going to be vicious. You can see we've still got high resolution radar showing a little bit of activity showing up tomorrow. This is 6 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, and eastern Utah picks up some showers and thunderstorms. The western side of the state stays sunny, and then we'll see those south winds kicking up over the next 24 to 36 hours as well. 90 in Moab, 83 in Blanding, 83 in Richfield, and 84 in Provo, 93 in St. George. All of these temperatures are about 5 to 10 degrees above normal for this time of the year. And if we look at what's expected, northern Utah will see a chance for thunderstorms. It will be cooler this weekend. It's going to be windy Thursday and Friday. And for southern Utah, it's going to be extremely windy, very strong winds, up to 60 miles an hour possible. And that, of course, is going to just put the fire danger over the top. And we'll take a look at that fire danger in just a second. But you can see this low pressure system over New Mexico. Still a few showers across the southeastern part of Utah. Here's the high wind watch for Thursday afternoon and evening across southwestern Utah. Gusts in excess of 60 miles an hour, as I mentioned. And the fire danger is not bad at night, but look at what happens in the afternoon. Very, very high fire danger. And it gets even worse on Thursday. This is what we're expecting on Thursday. Look at this. Most of the state is under high fire danger, and the winds will be gusting, like I said, anywhere from 30 to 50, possibly 60 miles an hour in some areas of southern Utah. Rain chances for the Wasatch Front, 20% tomorrow, 40% Friday, and 40% again Sunday. Those are the 2 most likely days that we'll see rain. So here's your forecast: 90s to 80s to 70s, windy all the way through Sunday, and then we're back into the 80s and 90s as we move into Monday and Tuesday, but the winds go away, and no rain down south. Salt Lake City, 85 down to 69 on Friday with a chance of thunderstorms, and then more showers possible on Sunday, a high of 64 degrees, overnight lows dipping into the 40s. 85 is my guaranteed forecast for tomorrow, and we got the forecast right yesterday, so Scott Martinson of Salt Lake City, Utah, you are the winner of a Sterling Set of Wood umbrella.
Still to come, a would-be kidnapper gets a surprise when he tries to nab an 11-year-old at a bus stop. How justice was served not once, but twice, just ahead.
And why some parents say the bullying and fight scene at local schools is getting out of hand. How the overarching fear of one student's victim has next on 2 News at 10.
Smile on your face.
Locally tonight, dozens gathered at the Capitol support LGBTQ people in our community. The event is being put on by Friends, Allies, and Mentors, or FAM. The group says every kid deserves an education free from discrimination.
I think most really want to do right by their students, but because we don't talk about it a lot of them feel unprepared to navigate those conversations.
They say rallies like the one today are a chance to send a signal to state lawmakers, school boards, and administrators that they value diversity and inclusion in schools.
Well, multiple different Instagram pages are exposing fights in Tooele County schools. The district says the Instagram pages don't paint an accurate picture. They say it includes fights from other schools and fights that happened a long time ago. But Alexis Stewart and her family say the pages are encouraging the fighting.
And it's super serious and it should be stopped. Because how would you feel as a parent having your kid go through that and having them end their lives over all this bullying?
As for those Instagram pages, the district says they do report the pages when they see them, and they encourage others to do so as well. A man is facing charges accused of trying to kidnap an 11-year-old girl. This all happened this morning. An attempted kidnapping caught on camera. You can see it play out. It happened at a bus stop. This is near Pensacola, Florida. You can see in that video the girl manages to fight the 30-year-old man and then break free. She was able to run away as the man got back into his car and drove off. Deputies say the girl is now safe at home with her family. They say mostly unharmed. She did have some scratches and I'm sure emotional trauma.
The Pentagon denies it's running a pilot program to continuously monitor social media accounts that belong to U.S. service members. The Intercept reports that such a program is being run by the Defense Secretary's senior advisor. The Pentagon says the Defense Department is always looking at the public space for any potential insider threats, but says there's been a lot of misreporting on the Countering Extremism Working Group's efforts. Happening tomorrow, you can get fresh local farm-to-your-table food and produce, all thanks to Farmers Feeding Utah. The group is hosting a drive-through program that will leave you with a box of fresh food. It's happening tomorrow evening from 5:30 until 7:30 p.m. or until they run out of food. And you can do it at the Layton Commons Park in Layton.
Jazz are the 1 seed, but it means so much more than just getting a favorable matchup, we'll explain. Plus, it's time to start handing out high school championship trophies. You know there were 3 of them today? We're talking sports next.
A couple pictures on January 6th have surfaced, but that could still be a picture of a tour guide. The gift shop's this way!
New tonight on CBS.
Sleepless nights.
From 2 News, this is Jerry Seiner talking sports.
All right, school must be coming to a close soon because it's championship season for the spring sports. And in fact, we had 3 titles awarded today. Triple header of championship games at Rio Tinto, including the 4A bout between Stansbury and Ridgeline. Ridgeline led 1-0 at the half. Second half, Stansbury strikes back. Max Rufignac finds the back of the nets, and we're tied at 1 apiece. But time winding down in the game. Ridgeline, they get a free kick over the midfield. Perfect. Ethan Green to Gabe Watson. It's the game winner. Ridgeline, they're your 4A champs. Congrats to them. 2-1 is the final. 3A championship match pairs Judge Memorial against top seed Morgan. Still scoreless. Start of the second half. And that's when the Bulldogs break through. John Chadwick out of the shadows to Nahul Batala for the game's only goal. That was it. 1-0, Judge. From there, the keeper, Colby Sessions, he took care of business, including the late save right there. Oh, that's beautiful. That's a three-peat for Judge going back to 2018, a 1-0 final score as they hoist the trophy. And how about this? The RSL Academy High School, which competes as a 2A school, wins its first ever title, beating Waterford 6-1. Talking sports tonight is Talking Jazz. Lemma Harrington joins me for our playoff preview. Some statistical facts that look good for the Jazz heading into the postseason. Plus, Lemma points out that the #1 seed in the playoffs, not only important for the matchups, but history is on your side as well.
You know, we've talked about this, the importance of the #1 seed as it, you know, in regards to the success that you will have in the postseason. 1 seed versus 2 seed. And Fox, you can see the numbers. They're dramatic. If you're the #1 seed, you're going to make it to the conference finals 85%, 2 seed 58%, and it goes on down the list. But the separation between that 1 seed and the 2 seed, I think, is significant.
Jazz did not win the NBA title as a 1 seed in '98. Join me with Lemma for this playoff preview, including his picks for the play-in games. Wait till you see who he thinks the Jazz are going to face in the first round. Not what I thought. Plus, the always amazing Matty Coma's top 5 NBA plays of the week. Talking Jazz, it's coming up on KMYU, and we stream it at KUTV.com. This whole play-in thing's kind of weird because the Jazz won't even know who they're playing until Friday night. That's the prize for being the 1 seed, but we'll see how that works.
But we do know they're playing Sunday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they haven't even confirmed that, but we can assume it because if a team plays Friday, they're not going to make them turn around and play on Saturday.
Not a
They'll give them
back-to-back.
an extra day. Yeah.
So much guesswork.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll be watching closely for those announcements to come. Everyone is excited.
All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Tune in at 10 o'clock tonight. Don't forget updates on KUTV.com.
Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.